Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to a brand new episode of Roundup. We'll be traveling to some very exciting locations in today's episode, so without further ado, let's get right into it.
But first, let's not forget about our weekly news roundup. Let's see what made the headlines this week.
Amid outrage from those left homeless and disappointed by the sluggish arrival of rescue crews, President Erdogan on February 8th said that his government's first response to the earthquake in southern Turkey was flawed. Erdogan added that operations had resumed and no one would be left homeless. The recorded death toll in Turkey and Syria has surpassed 20,000 people.
Forest fires across south-central Chile have killed 24 people, injured 2,180, and destroyed 1,180 houses. Interior Minister Toja has declared a curfew, urging providers to make water tanks available. Veterinarians have treated burns on animals native to the woodlands, including Monito del Monte and Pudas, the world's smallest deer.
On February 7th, LeBron James of the Los Angeles Lakers eclipsed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to become the NBA's all-time top scorer with a fadeaway jump shot late in the third quarter of a home game. When the ball splashed into the net, LeBron James, who started the game needing 36 points to break Abdul-Jabbar's record, drove the sold-out crowd into a frenzy, raised his arms as his teammates embraced him.
UK scientists at the University of Portsmouth are using plastic-eating enzymes to break down the polyester in fabrics, help recycle polyester clothing, and stop millions of tons of waste ending up being burned or in landfills each year. The team at the University of Portsmouth have already identified over 70 enzymes that can break down plastic.
A California startup, Heirloom Carbon Technologies, that uses limestone rocks to soak up carbon dioxide from the air, has teamed up with Canadian company CarbonCure to mineralize greenhouse gas within concrete. The technological tie-up is the first of its kind, and companies say it could provide a model for fighting climate change.
Jazakallah for the headlines, and thank you for keeping us up to date with what's happening around the globe.
Now, so up first, we'll be heading down to the land down under, which is Australia, and we'll be checking out their National Day.
To be honest, I'm not even sure why we celebrate these national holidays.
If I'm being honest, I don't know either. So let's check out this report and find out more.
Assalamu alaikum. Almost every country around the world has their own dedicated national day. In Ireland, you would have St. Patrick's Day, and Norwegians celebrate Constitution Day, whereas most of the rest of the world celebrates their own Independence Day. In fact, the United Kingdom and Denmark are the only countries that do not have their own dedicated national days. Australia, like most other countries, also has a national day known as Australia Day on the 26th of January. On this day, Australians take a day off work to spend with their friends and family. The hot summer weather makes it the perfect occasion for having barbecues or going down to the beach. During the day, several parades are held, such as the Australia Day Regatta at Point Piper, and at night, fireworks are set off throughout the country. As per the teachings of the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, that loving one's country is a part of faith, the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat in Australia holds an annual gathering on this occasion, where delegates deliver speeches and the national anthem is sung.
In joyful strains then let us sing, Advance Australia Day.
Having a national holiday is fun and all, but you may be wondering, why do Australians celebrate Australia Day exactly on the 26th of January? Why not any other date? Well, the answer to that lies in an event that occurred 235 years ago. In 1788, Captain Arthur Phillip sailed into Port Jackson, where he declared Australia to be a British colony. This marked the beginning of a new era for our nation's history and allowed Australia to become the country that it is today. That being said though, this date also marks the colonization of native indigenous land, which is why up to 60% of Australians believe that the date should be changed. So now we've learned how and why Australians celebrate Australia. So let's see what others have to say. So Edmund, what do you love about Australia Day?
I love Australia Day because it celebrates Australia's beautiful landscape, its unique flora and fauna, and its diverse multicultural society.
Yeah, like you can go anywhere in the world and you would see the same foods that you see in Australia.
Yeah, you don't have to go like hours away just to get this one food. You can go to any local food court and have whatever food you want.
Thank you, well said. Now let's test our knowledge. In what year did Captain Arthur Phillip sail into Port Jackson? Is it A, 1877, B, 1788, or C, 1787? If you guessed B, 1788, then you would be correct. I hope you learned something new about Australia Day. Jazakallah.
Jazakallah for that fascinating report.
Now it's time for us to head over to Islamabad to get this week's Friday Sermon Summary.
Assalamu alaikum, my dear brothers and sisters. During this week's Friday sermon, Hazur said that he would continue mentioning the excellences of the Holy Qur'an and its greatness over all revealed books. Did you know the Holy Qur'an consists of 114 chapters and 30 parts? The first revelation started in the holy month of Ramadan. Beloved Hazur Aidullah Ta'ala bin Nasr Aziz said that in his book Tuhfa-e-Kaisariya, a gift for the Queen, which the promised Messiah ﷺ wrote to convey the message of Islam to Queen Victoria on her Diamond Jubilee. He said that the Holy Qur'an is full of deep wisdom and is superior to the Gospels. The true God can be witnessed through the Holy Qur'an. The Holy Qur'an restored the unity of God, which was lost in the world. Hazur said that who else was there who could convey the message of Islam to the monarch with such confidence other than the promised Messiah ﷺ. Hazur Aidullah Ta'ala bin Nasr Aziz quoted the promised Messiah ﷺ, who said that the Holy Qur'an was revealed at a time when the world was in bad deeds and evil was widespread. The Holy Qur'an itself describes it as corruption has appeared on land and sea. It was during this time that the Holy Qur'an was revealed, which fixed all the false beliefs of previous religions. This was all done through the perfect and complete book, which is the Holy Qur'an. During this week's sermon, Hazur Aidullah Ta'ala bin Nasr Aziz continued quoting the promised Messiah ﷺ, who said that the Holy Qur'an is a miracle. A miracle refers to something extraordinary which cannot be replicated by any other. Such is the Holy Qur'an that was present to all of Arabia, and none in Arabia was able to present anything like it. Hence it is a miracle. Hazur Aidullah Ta'ala bin Nasr Aziz further quoted the promised Messiah ﷺ, who said that the Holy Qur'an is a source of spiritual healing. It is full of wisdom that has shown the perfect religion and has placed spiritual healing with physical healing. Hazur Aidullah Ta'ala bin Nasr Aziz continued quoting the promised Messiah ﷺ, who said that the true means of establishing a connection with God is the Holy Qur'an. One cannot establish a connection with Him until they familiarize themselves with His signs and until His light enters their hearts. This connection can only be achieved by following that which has been outlined in the Holy Qur'an. During this week's sermon, Hazur Aidullah Ta'ala bin Nasr Aziz said that the promised Messiah ﷺ explained that the stories and accounts found in the Holy Qur'an are actually prophecies. It is impossible for one to reach certainty in God without the Holy Qur'an. The God hidden to the world can be recognized and found through the Holy Qur'an. Dear brothers and sisters, we must also make it our habit to recite and learn the meanings of the Holy Qur'an in order to attain complete certainty regarding Allah the Almighty. Towards the end, Hazur Aidullah Ta'ala bin Nasr Aziz said that this topic would continue in light of the promised Messiah ﷺ's quotations in the future. Dear brothers and sisters, this was just a very brief summary of this week's Friday sermon. We hope you're able to hear the full sermon, which can be found on mta.tv. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum.
Jazakallah for bringing us this week's Friday Sermon Summary. And today we're back with another segment from the Foods in the Holy Qur'an series. Ghani, any guesses at what we're looking at today?
So, but we've had bananas,
Yes.
dates, honey. What else could it be?
Well, let me give you a hint. It's a small egg-shaped fruit from a certain tree and an important food and a source of oil.
A certain tree and a source of oil. Am I right to say that we're talking about olives?
Yes, we are. Let's have a look at this report.
Assalamu alaikum, and welcome to another episode of our series of foods mentioned in the Holy Qur'an. Today, we are talking about a widely loved fruit, whether it's mixed in a salad, eaten as a favourite pizza topping, or a quick healthy snack. Today, we are talking about olives.
Olives grow all year round. Olive trees can grow 25 to 30 feet tall, which is about half of a bowling alley. Allah has told us in the Holy Qur'an, by the fig and the olives, by Mount Sinai, and by this town of security. Surely we have created man in the best make.
Did you know the average lifespan of an olive tree is 300 to 600 years? This is because they are very resilient and their roots are very strong. They can handle extreme temperatures.
We know from archaeology that olives were first cultivated on the border between Turkey and Syria, and this is why they are known as a Mediterranean product. In ancient Greece and Rome, olives were used for food and fuel, and were very important for the trade in the Mediterranean. Today, olive oil is one of the most expensive and valued trade industry, with the market projected to grow to almost $17 billion.
So, how is olive oil actually produced?
Olive oil comes from the fruit of the olive tree. Once collected, the fruit are cleaned, crushed into a paste, and pressed to extract the oil from the pulp. The color of the olive fruit depends on how ripe it was when it was picked and preserved. Green olives are picked when unripe, while black olives are picked when fully ripe. Olive oil is classified based on whether it is pure and untreated, or treated using heat or by dissolving into a solution to remove flaws. The purest form of oils are obtained by pressing the fruit with no further processing. But olives don't just make for great cooking oils. You may also notice many of your shampoos and conditioners may contain extracts of olive oil. This is because olive oil is said to be great for your hair and helps reduce damage and breakage. Olive leaves are said to be good for health and may help lower blood pressure. The olive tree has a lot of symbolism. Did you know that olive branches represent peace? The ancient Greeks saw olives as a symbol of strength and victory. Olive branches would be made into wreaths and used to crown victors of Olympic Games.
Olives are amazing and good for your health. So next time when you're eating, why not cut them up and add them in? I do, and I love them.
Jazakallah for that. Now we're heading over to Germany to check out a castle known as Burg Ryan.
You know, Nasser, I've heard that Burg Ryan is a major tourist attraction in the city of Offenbach. So, without further ado, let's check it out.
Assalamu alaikum, mein Name ist Tanja und ich bin mit meinen Geschwistern zum Lin und Ahel hier in Draich, um die Burg Hyan zu besichtigen. Komm, lasst uns gemeinsam erkunden. Die Burg stammt aus dem 11. Jahrhundert. Reichsvögte lebten hier, um den Wildbahn zu verwalten. Das war das besondere Jagdrecht im Heiligen Römischen Reich deutscher Nation. Direkt zu Beginn haben wir einen Spielplatz entdeckt. Ich vermute, den gab es damals aber noch nicht, wobei es die Kinder sicherlich nicht schlecht gefunden hätten. Hier war früher ein Wassergraben. Die Herren von Hagen-Mützenberg bauten einen Palast als Wohngebäude. Hier seht ihr den Burghof und den Palast. Da hinten, neben dem Bergfried, war der Eingang. Der große Versammlungs- oder Speisesaal ist das Zentrum des Palasts, in dem man noch Kamin und Säulenblasen erkennen kann. Und dann gab es noch die Burgkirche. Die Burgkirche, wie sie heute zu sehen ist, entstand 1718. Ihr Vorgänger war 1669 abgebrannt. Wollt ihr wissen, wie die Kirche 1969 abgebrannt ist. Der Gemeindebäcker brachte ein Stöfchen mit in die Kirche, um sich die Füße zu wärmen. Es fiel ein Stück glühende Kohle heraus und dann brannte die Kirche. Hier neben der Kirche gab es noch Prospekte für die Burgfestspiele, die hier im Sommer in der Freilichtbühne der Burg stattfinden. Der Burgfried war damals 30 Meter hoch, heute ist er nur noch 14 Meter hoch. Die Steine wurden zum Bau von Häusern und Straßen genutzt. Der Bergfried sollte nicht nur einfach gut aussehen, sondern diente als Zufluchtsort für Stadtbewohner oder als Aufbewahrungsort und Verlies. Es gibt auch einen Rosengarten und ich kann mir gut vorstellen, dass er im Frühling und Sommer sehr schön aussehen muss mit all den Rosen. Und das war's auch schon. Es gibt sicherlich noch so viel mehr zu sagen, aber so langsam wird es dunkel und weil es so kalt ist, ist die Altstadt mit ihren warmen Cafés ziemlich verlockend. Bis zum nächsten Mal. Assalamu alaikum.
Zakla for that amazing report.
Ghani, don't you think it's great when studios around the world bring us fascinating reports to us here at Roundup?
I know. You know, the best part is that our viewers can see these wonderful reports and learn so much about them from the comfort of their own homes.
Indeed, and I hope that we would visit some of these major landmarks and tourist attractions that we've covered in our show and the past several months.
You know, I agree. But for now, let's check out the last report of the day. By the grace of Allah the Almighty, last weekend Hazur-e-Aqdas granted Bustan-e Waqfe Nau with a virtual Mulaqat.
And Ghani, if I remember correctly, it's been quite some time since the last Bustan class, so we thought it might be beneficial for our viewers to watch some exclusive BTS and interviews of attendees of the class.
Assalamu alaikum. Alhamdulillah. Today, Waqfe Nau from the UK had the blessed opportunity to have a virtual Mulaqat with beloved Hazur. May Allah be his helper.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. आज पूरा जलसा किया हुआ तुम लोगों ने.
For me, it was the first time ever to be able to attend a virtual Mulaqat, and I feel so lucky and blessed to have this opportunity. Alhamdulillah, Waqfe Nau were able to ask a range of questions.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम प्यारे हुजूर.
वालेकुम सलाम.
मेरा सवाल है कि आप दुनिया के बहुत से मुल्कों में जा चुके हैं. आपका सबसे पसंदीदा मुल्क कौन सा है और क्यों?
क्यों है? अगर मैं कहूँ नहीं है तो फिर क्यों वाला सवाल ख़त्म हो गया. और मैं कहूँ सारे पसंदीदा हैं तो फिर भी क्यों वाला सवाल ख़त्म हो गया. जहाँ अहमदी अच्छे हैं, हर मुल्क में अहमदी हैं, अच्छे अहमदी हैं. हर मुल्क की अपनी अपनी खूबसूरती है. हर मुल्क के अपने अपने अच्छी बातें हैं. किसी में कोई अच्छी बात है, किसी में कोई अच्छी बात है. और अहमदी हर जगह जहाँ मुखलिस हैं वो सारे ही अच्छे हैं. जब अहमदी अच्छे हैं तो मुल्क भी अच्छा हो गया. इसलिए सारे मुल्क अच्छे हैं. क्यों वाली बात ही कोई नहीं. तुम भी अच्छे हो, जर्मनी के रहने वाले भी अच्छे हैं और हॉलैंड के रहने वाले भी अच्छे हैं और बेल्जियम के भी और फ्रांस के भी और अमेरिका के भी और कनाडा के भी और न्यूजीलैंड के भी और ऑस्ट्रेलिया के भी और अफ्रीका के भी. अफ्रीकन बच्चे भी बड़े अच्छे अच्छे हैं, वफ़ादार, बड़े प्यार और इखलास दिखाने वाले और बड़े भी. तो अब देखो अफ्रीका में बुर्किना फासो में उन्होंने कुर्बानी दिखाई ना, कितनी बड़ी अहमियत की खातर एक एक करके शहीद होते गए. तो फिर वो अफ्रीकन तो फिर अच्छे लगेंगे सबसे ज़्यादा. लेकिन जहाँ जहाँ लोग अच्छे अहमदी हों और कुर्बानियाँ दिखाने वाले हैं वही अच्छा मुल्क है.
We are so blessed to have Khilafat, and it was truly amazing listening to Hazur's words and seeing how much he cares for us.
This was my first time actually being in a Bustani Waqfe Nau class. I learned a lot of things, especially from the questions, and I really loved it all.
It was nice that Hazur had took off his time and had to answer our questions, and I was just really happy that Hazur could take the time off.
I was excited seeing Hazur. I liked the question answerings. I liked the Nazm Tilawat. It was a very good program.
It was good because all the questions were the exact questions that I asked, and they all answered it. I learned a lot of things, especially when Hazur said about secondary school, about hijab.
My question to Hazur was that how can Waqfe Nau do tabligh? Hazur gave me the answer and he told me quite a lot of examples how you can do it as well. And it was pretty nice.
When I saw Hazur on the screen today, it really made my brain freeze. Like, such an astonishing, like, once-in-a-lifetime moment. I loved it. It was like a really great thing to see, like Hazur answering our questions. It was really charming to see his smile and stuff.
The virtual Mulaqat was truly an unforgettable experience for me and everyone who took part. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum.
Jazakallah for those incredible behind-the-scene moments. Nasser, I have to say I really enjoyed them.
You know what? So did I.
But unfortunately, that's all we have time for in today's episode. So don't forget to join us next week when we'll be covering even more amazing topics from around the world.
And as said, Jazakallah for joining us in today's episode. And don't forget to send us your feedback on our email or via our socials at roundup@mta.tv. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum.
To reach all the corners of the earth.